Hey, y'all. Hey. Where's your stuff?
Hey, y'all. How everybody doing on this cold Tuesday?
Cold.
Cold. It's cold outside.
Girl, it's like 50 degrees. What are you talking about?
That's not good enough.
For Indiana weather?
We just had 70-degree weather last week.
Girl, you in Indiana. We take the 50-degree weather.
I see, because you came in with no jacket on.
Girl, it felt good outside.
And then I got on a sweater. I have on a sweater. She has on no jacket.
And don't need it. So how y'all doing? How y'all what? So before we go any further, we want to make sure that y'all can hear us because we trying something new once again. So we want to make sure that y'all can hear us, y'all can see us, and everything is good. I know we tardy for the party, but we trying to figure this thing out. This whole podcast thing and
sounds and camera and sitting and settings and yeah, she's trying to make sure it looks good for YouTube. I'm trying to make
we do look good. I just want to make sure. So we appreciate y'all again for y'all patience and bearing with us while we figure this thing out. Oh yeah, we look good. So before we go any further, what we want y'all to do is to share, share, and let everybody know that we are live right now. Because we want y'all to come into the room and we want y'all to talk to us. So we need y'all to share that we are live and let everybody know that we're ready. We look good. And y'all see that down at the bottom, Talk That Talk podcast. Oh yeah. We moving on up. I'm excited. We'll take our little, our little wins. You feel me? Now I wonder if we can hear. Hang on, let me see. Now, I hope I don't mess up y'all ears or nothing. You feel me? Now I wonder if we can hear. Hang on, let me see. Now. We sound good.
This girl be on it.
All right, y'all. Well, let's get started. For real. I wonder if I can maybe edit.
We've been at this for about what time is it?
It's been probably like 20, 30 minutes for real. Because we just wanted to make sure, like we are doing what we're supposed to be doing. So,
baby, that man need. Them no right notes?
Yes. Hi, Daviana. Hi, honey. Okay. So, I am so glad that you guys and gals decided to tune in another week for Talk That Talk podcast. We definitely appreciate you all. Again, thank you again so much for your patience while we're going through these growing pains. I am your host, Kokobeauty.
And I am Sunshine Hope.
And again, you are listening and tuning in to Talk That Talk podcast. So I feel like last week was amazing.
Last week was good. It was emotional. Cause what about your friends?
Yeah, what about them?
Because your friends is not friends how they used to be.
Honey,
you got some. Whew.
Yeah, we can go there today. Talk about people that are friends.
Yeah, but
we're not gonna go there.
We ain't gonna go. We gonna circle back just yet. We might say that for another time. You know what I'm saying? Another time, another day. Man, we might have to circle back.
Cause honey, what about your friends? But what we all, again, as she stated before at the very beginning, we do need you guys to like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook page. Like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our Spotify channel. We thank those that have. We appreciate you all. Those that have been sharing our lives.
Thank you. Y'all at thebomb.com. I do really appreciate that. I love seeing the shares on other people's pages. Like, oh, thank you.
They love us.
They love us so much.
They love us. Okay, don't be doing that. Your waterworks will turn on real quick. I ain't got time today.
Baby, I'm getting up. I laugh when I cry. I cry when I laugh.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna keep our sister Sunjoy. I mean, Sunjoy.
That sound like dishwasher liquid.
Wait, Sunjoy is the drink at Chick-fil-A because they can't say Arnold Palmer anymore. They call him Sunjoy, half lemonade, half sweet tea.
Oh,
they call him Sunjoy. Yeah.
Okay.
So our sister Sunjoy, no, I'm just playing. Our sister Sunshine Hope. Y'all, we gotta keep her in prayer. We gotta keep her lifted.
As Kokobeauty, keep her in y'all prayers.
Please do. And okay, so also what we want y'all to do is, if you are tuning in, whether it be a recap or you're listening to live, please just put in the comments where you are listening from so we know where our listeners are coming in from. So yeah, now I think we should talk about what we're about to talk about.
Which is,
you tell me, what are we talking about today?
I think you mentioned something about courageous change. Is it? What does that sound about right? And once again, I let her pick this topic.
I did. I was listening to my Bishop Brandon Bishop Brandon A. Jacobs.
Bless his heart.
And he's doing a series because, we're trying to get everything in alignment. We're really focused on discipleship and kingdom. And he was preaching this message and he said something, and it literally, like as he was talking, it was like a highlighter. Boom, courageous change. So I just immediately texted her. I was like, courageous change. Courageous change. And so with it just resonated with me because both of us have been through similar situations in our life and throughout our life to bring us to where we are today. And I feel like it's extremely important because if you want to go anywhere in life ever, you got to be courageous. Like, you have to, in order to get to where you're trying to get to, you have to be courageous, and you have to make the changes. Like, you have to do it. It is imperative. I will never forget. This was probably maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I was listening to Kiki Palmer, and she said something that literally like just blew my mind. She said, because I'm Kiki Palmer, I thought people were going to just be blowing my door down and just constantly coming at me. And she said it got to the point where, no, it was not like that. I still had to audition. I still had to do this. And she said it came to her that if she wants something, she has to be the creator. Like, if you want something, you have to create it. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to come do it for you. You have to do it yourself. Like, God, being the God that he is, he's not a genie. We're not going to just rub on him or clap our hands and praise and praise and praise. And he's just going to boom, just do it like magic, boom, do it. No, he does do miracles, yes. But a lot of that, what he does is he leads us and guides us and open the door for us to still continue to do the work that we are wanting to, be done or whatever we're expecting. So as the bishop was talking about what he was talking about, I won't go into all of that, but he had mentioned courageous change. And I'm like, oh my God, what better topic to talk about? Because last week we were talking about friendship. And so if you want healthier friendships, guess what you got to do? You got to be courageous and make some changes. Because some of our friendships, they don't make us feel good. And we talked about that last week. How do you feel when you're with your friends? So if you want change and the changes that a lot of us desire, we have to be courageous, because a lot of us are stuck in our ways due to how our family, our bloodline is. Some of us are assigned to, like, not assigned, but like we're loyal to the streets. We're loyal to the grind.
What about getting comfortable in a space?
Yeah, you comfortable because of what you're around. Like, but some people, if you too comfortable, you ain't gonna want to change.
That's what I'm saying.
But this to me, I feel like this is for people that are really desiring change and they're stuck. Like all around them, they trying to change, or they change a little bit, or
and they relapse.
basically, basically, yeah. So yeah. So I'll let you start off. What is like when we were talking about, like I said, when I mentioned courageous change, like what are some thoughts that come to your mind?
So I started off with, you have to be brave in this life. Like, it's scary enough. Like, every movement you make, you have to watch your back. You have to watch your surroundings. You have to watch who you're talking to, who you associate yourself with, who you telling your business to, who you're opening up to. But also, you have to step out on faith, and you have to have that little small mustard seed of faith, because if you don't, you're being scary. You're not being brave. You're not trusting God. And you have to also speak and think positivity into your life. And if you want positive people around you, you have to surround yourself with positive people. You know, if somebody talking negative all the time, why would you associate yourself with someone that's always talking negative, that's always talking about bad stuff, or the what if this happened? That's not somebody you want to be around. That's not somebody you want sucking up your energy. You don't even want to put your energy in that same space. And don't be afraid of change, even though it's scary. Life is scary. Like I said, life is scary within itself. Like, you don't even have to do too much. But people think about, I think when people think about change, they think about the worst. They don't think about, or they just be too afraid of the process, because everything is a process. You have to go from, just like when we was babies, like, you have to crawl before you walk. You just can't just go into certain things. Some people can, some people can't. Are we jumping into?
Yeah. So what I would like for you to do is talk about your courageous change, because what I know about her, this girl was out here just straight thugging it. You feel me? In the streets the same way. You feel me?
You can find me in St. Louis.
No, but from what I understand, like, a part of her story is, like, you know, she from St. Louis. She moved here to Indianapolis, Indiana area by herself, you know, on, I don't want to say on a whim, but I asked her, I'm like, why in the world, first off, why in the world would you even come to Indianapolis? Like, come on, like, all places on the map, you picked it. But no, for real. So just listening to like tidbits of her little story, and also, how long have we known each other at this point?
I think Kingston was maybe 1 or 2. When I first met you.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
He had just started walking, I believe.
And I think I was pregnant.
Yeah, you were pregnant. You were pregnant.
And she's 4.
Well, actually, you wasn't pregnant when we first met. You had just,
yeah, because we met at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
Yep.
You weren't pregnant at that time, because I don't think that's when you told us. You told us. Did you tell us at the Cheesecake Factory?
No, because I don't think I even knew yet. I don't remember. But so that means it's been right around 5 years. We'll just say about 5 years. Mm-hmm. So when I met her then, she was not who she is now in a 5-year span. And even then, when I met her then, she was also talking about her change and who she had become once I came into her life. And so I just think it's interesting, like, how a person is in that lifestyle or around that lifestyle, but then merges into who they become. Like, for instance, now she's getting ready to become an ordained minister in June. And so being in that life, and now you're an ordained minister, like, that's monumental, especially when you are not from, like me. I am like 4th, 5th, maybe even 6th generation Church God of Christ. I am a church girl for real. like born and raised. Ain't never been in the streets, ain't never been in the ghetto, ain't never been in the hood, ain't never been in the projects, like none of that. I don't know nothing about none of that. I can play all day, but I don't know nothing about none of that. For real, for real. I'm a church girl. Grew up in the pews, going to church 7 days a week, literally. You know what I'm saying? So I understand how I could be in the church and I leave the church and come back in the church. But for somebody that wasn't really, I mean, you might have been around the church, in and out of the church, you know, a little bit.
Yeah.
But to go from that to where you are today, that's courageous.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about like your courageous change and like literally like how you have lived that out, because you probably don't even know that you've really been like you really made that courageous change.
I mean, so when the 9 years had came up and I thought about it, it was emotional because yes, that
you got
was
tissue around here,
girl. Nah, I do. But I think what it was, because as a little girl, I can say that my auntie, she would come and get me and take me to church with her. And I think that's what set the stone for me, is going to church with her. And even though it stopped for her, she would stop coming and get me, but it was still instilled in me that I needed to go. It was like something was calling me to church. So even me and my best friends, us little girls, we would go to the mall. We would catch the bus to a church. So we would go to a church probably once or twice a month. And I'm blessed to have them because they was down for whatever. Oh, you want to go to church? Let's go to church. So we would, on a whim, just go to church as little girls, catch the bus and go to church, or walk to like a nearby church. But I think because I was going back and forth with church growing up, and then I would go, lingering out, God was like, you know what? This is the last time you finna play with me. And he snatched me and pulled me away from that. And something that a lot of people may not have known, when I moved here, I had some food stamps. I don't know how many. And then I had like child support. And at that time, child support, I was only getting like $300 every 2 weeks. So for 3 kids, $300 and some change and some food stamps. And I drove here with just that. That's all I had. So, yes, we had to go stay in the shelter. Yes, that was hard for me. That was something that I thought I would never, ever in my life experience. Wow. But the whole time God was with me and my kids were with me. And even though there was days where I was just like, what is happening? Like I wanted to question him, but I couldn't. I couldn't find any words, because even though I was in that situation, I was still in a calm space. Like I wasn't losing my mind. Like I wasn't.
You still had
flipping out. Yeah, I still had peace. I still it was like he was with me the whole time. So even sitting in the shelter, going through all of that, and it was an experience. Needless to say, it was an experience. And do I ever want to go back? No. Do I want to go back and help other women? Yes. Yes, indeed. And I think that was part of the process for me to go and see other women in that situation, some of them in a worse situation than myself. I knew why I was there. Others were there because they was in abusive relationships. They literally been living here and didn't have nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? So it was an eye-opener. Even though I was in that situation, I met so many different women in all kind of situations. So that was the most courageous thing I did, is walking away from my hometown with no family, with nobody here, and going to live in a shelter with less than $400 in my pocket to my name, and a food stamp card full of food stamps or whatever you want to put it. But here I am today, and it's like, I wish I still got food stamps. I don't have food stamps. So I'm like buying food. I'm not in the shelter. I'm in my own place. I can shower by myself without other people looking at me. My kids have their own space. We ain't got to get up at a certain time and clean up and eat. So it's like, I'm so very, very humble. So very, very humble. And thinking back on that, yeah, that was a time.
it had to have been a God moment too, because again, like I just can't believe why did you just pick on the map and was like, boom, I'm just gonna go here?
No, because I drove my brother here. He actually went to Lincoln Tech. Like, he went to college here, and I was the one that drove him here. And because Indiana was like in driving distance for me, I was like, I can drive back and forth to St. Louis. And that's what I did. Like, once I finally got settled, when I got my place and I was working, I would go back home like 2 or 3 times a month. Like, it was nothing. Anytime I had a few off days, I'd go spend the weekend in St. Louis and just drive myself back. But then I stopped going because it was stressful. I was like, see, that's why I left. No, I'm just playing. I love my family in St. Louis. Just in case Sky watching. I love y'all.
Yes. So that's why I say, like, and I know, like, when I had initially mentioned to you about courageous change, you was just like, what?
Right.
But you literally live that. Like, that's your life, courageous change. Like, that's, like, you're courageous. And again, going from a level of comfort, because you had kind of mentioned that you like some people are just comfortable, but going from where you were back in St. Louis to having family, having friends, even if they were frenemies, but just, you know, that level of comfort to go into nothing. Like, I'm just literally going to launch out, like the Bible talks about, just launch out into the deep. That's what you did. And so that's what also why I chose this subject as well, because you really truly can resonate. Now, my story is not as extreme as hers, because I'm not as courageous. I mean, I got some courage, you know. It takes it really is a lot of courage to be Kokobeauty, but no, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing. I'm being extra right now. No, but when it comes for me, I'm from this little tiny rinky-dink town, and I love my family. I know they want the best for me, but everybody in my city like swears by the factories, right? And we had the main factories in Kokomo. We had Chrysler, and we had Delphi or GM, and we had Haynes International, and so everybody wanted me to work at the factory, and I tried it. I worked there for 2 years, and I was just like negative, because I'm gonna be honest, some of the stuff that was going on in them factories, they was not a God, and I was being sucked in. Like, I ain't even gonna stunt. I'm like, God, this ain't for me. Lord, no. Lord, the temptation is too great. Yeah. So I had to, and that's the thing, like I couldn't explain all of that to my family, but I'm just like, y'all, this ain't for me. Like, no. And so I ended up moving to people deem it as a bougie area, all of that. But I moved to that area because for motivation. And I felt like God placed me there because I needed that motivation. So at the time, the area that I'm living in, I've been out there, I think it's like 13 years. And so I moved to that area. I actually was in this other little town because I had gotten married or whatever at the time. So I moved to this other little town, and I despised it. But I ended up working for the bank, and the bank allowed me to actually be a bouncer around. So I bounced around to other different areas and other little cities and stuff. So it gave me a chance to kind of view the area. And so I kept coming to this little bougie area. And every time I came in, would drive in, I would just be like, my mouth would be dropped, because they would be building $1 million homes on a regular street. All right. And so I would just be looking around like, oh my gosh. Now, mind you, at the time, we were supposedly going into a recession. But in my mind, I'm like, how are we going into a recession? But they are literally building $1 million homes or multi-million-dollar homes on a regular street. Like, it wasn't in no gated community. Excuse me, none of that. And so, working at the bank, every time I would have a lunch break or something, I would go outside or I would drive around, and I would just be looking. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're putting on the news like that people don't have no money, recession. I'm like, folks got money, especially because they were building these homes from scratch. There were not a lot of for sale signs. There were not a lot of for rent signs, like all of that. And I'm like, I need to be out here. I need that energy. I need to be around where I'm trying and I desire to go. So God made a way, literally a miracle happened, and God made a way for me to come out here, or into that area. And so I've been out here 13 years. Mind you, it was courageous for me because I had a lot of backlash from family. I had a lot of talking from family. But what they didn't understand is I was out here for a purpose. And I was going out there for encouragement for myself, because as a single mother of what was 3 at the time, like I just felt like my life was going to be regular. But deep down inside, I'm just like, no, like if this is all life is going to offer me, I don't really want it. Mm-hmm. So it's been courageous for me because, again, a lot of people have not understood why I am where I am, but there is a reason and a purpose for me being where I am. Not only that, the resources that my children have received since we've been out here in this area, like, has just been absolutely second to none. They have went over and above for my children. So there are benefits. Now, mind you, it ain't always been sweet. You know what I'm saying? I've went through some struggles. I've went through some times where I thought my family, we were going to end up in a hotel or end up in a shelter. But God always made provision. That's how I knew, okay, God, this is really where you need me to be in this season. And so I've had to be courageous because, again, my family has felt some type of way in some situations, and that has hurt me as well, because I never wanted to offend my family. I never wanted to be seen in a negative light. But I had to do what was best for me and my family. So I have had to, like I say, I have had to do some certain things, and be courageous, even with, the church now that I attend. There have been some things that have gotten back to me. But I am where I need to be because of what God has said, and so sometimes when you're striving for something or you desire something, like, you have to be courageous and you have to stand firm and just trust God. So that's just a little bit of my story. But like I said, I feel like her story is far more inspiring and inspirational, because she made a huge leap of faith. You know what I'm saying? And where she is today, like I say, here in about, what is that, 2 months, I think it is, she'll be an ordained minister.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely happy and excited for her, for that. So what in your courageous change, why did you want the courage? Like, why did you want change?
Pretty much the same thing you were saying. And I felt like I was not going anywhere. But I had been saying it for like many, many years that I wanted to leave. And it was my mom that was talking me out of it. She was like, no, you got these little kids. You don't need to be traveling with these kids. You don't need to be out there by yourself with these little kids. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it's a good idea. You need to wait until they got older and they could talk. We ended up making a move to Jefferson City, and I stayed there for, I don't even think it was a year, a complete year.
Where's Jefferson City?
Jefferson City is maybe like almost 2 hours away from St. Louis. It's still in Missouri.
Oh, okay.
But it's like a couple of hours away from St. Louis. No more than 2 hours. But I was pregnant with Alyssa. And when I had Alyssa, my mom was like, no, you need to bring that baby back. You need to come on back. And I'm like, it's only 2 hours away. So I ended up moving back to St. Louis. She ended up moving in with me. But still, it just felt like, even though I was getting whatever job I wanted, it wasn't enough. Because I'm like, girl, you still pumping out babies. And this is what you're making. And this is what you're doing. And you better than this. And you know what I'm saying? I'm telling myself I'm better than this. I know that I'm better than this. So I made up my mind when Alyssa turned 3, I was gone. And Indiana was just the closest enough state to me to go to, because I was just ready to go. Now, if I had more money, more time, and thought it all the way out like I should have, I probably would have went somewhere, further out. But I was just ready to go. And like you said, it was motivation for me, even though I wasn't prepared. It was just my faith in God and trusting God in the whole situation, like the whole transition. I was like, God, this is me and you. This is me and you. And I didn't care. I really didn't care about who wasn't here with me, because I didn't need it. I didn't. When you're having a moment with God, you really don't need the outside distractions. I didn't need a man. I wasn't looking for a man. I wasn't looking for any friends. I wasn't looking for anything. I was just looking to better my life and better get my kids a better life and do more stuff with them and get out the house more. But it was really a breath of fresh air. Like, once we got into our place, I had a van. So yeah, I had a car. So I mean, we were able to just go and come as we please, and we slept wherever we wanted to sleep in this house. It was just, because it was like the process, like their process. So it's a trip, but it is worth it. It is worth it, and it is necessary. But and then plus I was trying to protect my son, because I felt like St. Louis was more of a, it's rowdy.
It would have sucked
It would have
in.
sucked them all the way in. And I would probably be having a different story to tell today. So and I tell him that sometimes. I was like, part of my move here was for you. Like, it wasn't just all about me. You had a lot to do with it. So I'm glad that he's a senior now. Hopefully he graduates in June. And yeah, I did it. Like, so the hard part is over.
So when you were wanting, like, what is the change? Like, the change, I know you said like you wanted better for them. You were looking for more. Like, where did that inspiration come from? Like, who told you deserve better? Like, how did you, like, what did you see that made you think like, oh, that's what I want? Or was it a feeling you were going for? Like, what made you decide like, this ain't it for me?
Because I have expensive taste. So even as a little girl, I would go into the grocery stores and, get those house books. And the house listings. And the houses that I would pick would be like these 5-6 bedroom houses with these big old backyards and this upstairs and downstairs and marble counters. And I was just like, oh, this is the house I'm getting. I would circle the houses that I was getting. And this was just as a little girl. So I would see like the cars that I wanted to drive, the money that I wanted to have, the things that I wanted to do. Nothing was regular about me. Like, I just didn't want a regular life. I didn't want to be like on welfare. I didn't want to just settle. Like, I was like, it's okay to get help. It's okay to get your food stamp, whatever you need, whatever is necessary, especially when you're a mother with kids and you doing it by yourself. Get all the help you can get. But that's not where you want to stay. You don't want to in there, because it cripples you. It cripples you, and it messes you up, and it sucks you in,
literally.
Yeah. So you want to step outside of that and trust in God. And like, I would have to pray about everything. Like, God, if I ever lose food stamps, please provide for me. Please make sure me and my kids have something to eat. Because if you lose it and you go that next month, because I'm telling you, like, for holidays, I would have turkey, ham, duck, all
deer,
all the animals.
Rabbit,
all the animals. Now I be having
bison.
Which one we gonna do? Chicken or ham? Y'all want a chicken or y'all want the ham? But you get used to that type of stuff. So, but like I said, I just had an expensive taste, and then the visions that God was giving me was like,
it wasn't.
I'm living. It wouldn't add up. I'm like, I'm living in this, and you want me to do that? I'm driving this, and you want me to? Yeah, no, some ain't adding up. So, yeah, it was necessary. It was necessary for me to see certain things and go through certain things in the mood. It all was necessary.
Yeah. I would say for me, it's like, so when I was, like I said, I was born and raised in the church. So I would always like, our church, Church God in Christ, every summer they have AIM, which is like a youth convention, and they would pick random cities throughout the nation. And so we would travel to all of those different cities. And then every November we would have our Holy Convocation. So our Holy Convocation would be in Memphis, Tennessee. And so I would just be traveling all these different places with the church, I would be like, that is where my inspiration was the freedom of being able to do all of these different things. And then my mom, she would tell me stories about going to the Holy Lands and going to Hawaii. Like I would see the pictures of her in Hawaii. And so all of those things would add up. And I'm like, and then having the experience of being so young, traveling the nation, I'm like, yeah, this is my life. This is my life. So that was always my inspiration. And then I always felt then, of course, once I started having kids, I'm like, man, I have got to do better because I want my children to experience this and then some.
Right.
But then, of course, life started happening and I have not yet been able to give them that experience. But that's been a reason again, when you're in certain areas, nowadays it's kind of different because for whatever reason, everybody in the world now, everybody on social media, y'all ain't got these elaborate jobs, but everybody traveling with their kids. So I need to know
what's the secret? What's the tea, sis?
What's tea?
What's the tea? Because I'm saying.
So I'm trying to figure that out. So that's that. But
I think we should just get us a 16 passenger van.
Yeah, but look how much money it's gonna cost to get a 16 passenger van. Girl, have you priced them recently?
I have not.
Hunty, it's like almost $1,000 a day. It's like ridiculous. I mean, maybe not that much, but it is a lot. Like for one day.
If anybody have a school bus that needs a little bit of maintenance.
Oh yes, wait a minute, because I'm not gonna even lie.
We'll take it.
I have literally been wanting to do the school bus life, like where you tear out all the insides of a school bus and live out of it.
No, I want to do that.
I do, girl. They have been like extravagant.
I do an RV.
But you know how much an RV is.
Oh, yes, because the ones I won't be having the flat screen.
Right, so that's why we need a school bus.
We can start out. I start out with the school bus because guess what? It's a process.
Yeah,
I'll take the school bus until we get our RV.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'ma just stay in the school bus. She can go to the RV
until she see what it look like on the inside.
No, yes, that. We on budgets over here. I'm trying to keep my coins to a minimum.
But yeah, if anybody that got a bus, a school bus, you can donate it to Talk That Talk.
Or a double Dutch bus.
What is that?
I don't know. You don't know the song? You lying.
How it go?
The double Dutch bus? The double Dutch bus. Okay.
When did that come out? In the 70s?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't know it was probably called that, maybe.
Are you a skater?
No. I mean, I know how to skate a little bit,
so
but I'm not a fan.
You don't know nothing about that. Yeah, you don't know nothing about that. It's okay, though.
You know how to skate?
Girl! Yes, ma'am.
Please take my kids. They love skating. I'm not a skater.
Girl, honey.
I sit down and watch.
I do the skate. I do the shuffle. I do all of that stuff. I don't know.
For real?
Yes. Yes, girl. I used to go skating every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then every so many Wednesdays, they would have like quarter night or something like that. Girl. Wow. Honey. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Your girl, Kokobeauty, is a skater. But yeah. So what else would you like to talk about? Courage change. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I just don't want anyone to be, like you said, stuck in a situation because you're afraid of change. Don't be afraid. I just got a tingle. Oh. I just got a tingle. So, woo. Hold on.
I done been my card.
Your cheating card.
Do not be afraid of change. God will never leave you nor forsake you.
That's the word.
He is always there. So if there is anyone who is struggling with something that's new, out of your comfort zone, and you scared, I challenge you today to give it to God and take that leap of faith. Because I'm assuming that's what the sensation over my body was. But yeah.
Somebody needs to hear that.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared, because he would have never presented it to you. He would have never put it in your thought process.
That's
if it wasn't meant for
Mm-hmm.
you. If the process was not meant to happen for you, he would have never gave it to you.
That's right. I agree. I was trying to think. It was something, you know, back to the Bible real quick. But it's a lot of different stories that resemble courageous change. Esther in the Bible, she had to be courageous in helping the people, because it was a point where those that know the story of Esther, how she had to, she ended up marrying a king. And in order to even go in front of the king, like, she had to get permission and so on and so forth. But she ended up having to be, she had to be courageous in order to make the changes necessary to get the task done. And if she was not courageous, then a whole body of people would have died. So the more courageous you have to be for a task, the bigger a blessing and the bigger of an outcome that is going to. So, like, for her, in her situation, she literally coming here changed the trajectory of not only her life, but her lineage, her seed, her children, because she already knew as a mother, God gave that insight to her. Hey, if you stay here, your children may start getting into stuff they're not supposed to get into. Amen. So she had to not only change for her, why it was such a big change for her. Not only was she changing for her, she was changing for the generations after her. So, like she was saying, it may feel like this is too much. I can't do this. I'm not trying to be by myself. I'm not trying to go against, or so, in some cases, you gotta hit it and go away for a while, because it's a life or death situation. But in that, you are literally changing for the better. And in a lot of the cases, it's not just for you, but it's for others. So again, you got to be courageous. So just thinking about, Esther, even, we're going to always revert back to Jesus being courageous, coming down here on earth, having to deal with all of the shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? And then even the other courageous people I was talking to her about when we were talking about the topic was the disciples. I think all of them, maybe there might be one, but I don't think so. Every last one of them died horrible deaths, all for the sake of professing the gospel. You gotta be courageous. Like, you're not gonna make it in life. Like, you have to be courageous. But they all were either beheaded or put into prison or whatever, but they had to stand firm. And that's crazy, because I'm looking, y'all can't see it, but I'm looking on the wall. It says, be positive, dream big, be kind, work hard, stay humble, keep shining, but be positive, dream big. So it just made me think, again, all of that is like being courageous for the sake of change. So
one of the other things I wanted to talk about, I might cry, but I just want to say, well, I got a mic towel, I got a postcard, but I would say growing up without a father, not to say I didn't have a male role model in the home, But at that time, I was already smelling myself. I was in my teenage years. It was not to say it was too late, but I really didn't want to hear what another man had to say to me anyway, especially if you weren't my daddy. I was going to say ghetto. If you wasn't my daddy. But
St. Louis.
if you were not my father, I didn't want to hear anything you have to say. So when I became a teenager, I was more of a didn't trust them, didn't want to be bothered with. I mean, I would talk to boys. I had boyfriends, but it was like we just friends. We friends that kiss. That's all.
Yeah, nothing serious.
Nothing serious. Cause like, at what extent should I take you serious? Like, and I would say not even knowing how to be loved properly or love properly, kind of like did something to me in my mental space. So when I started having kids, trust me, it was a whole lot of trying to figure out who was for me and who wasn't for me. And I'm the type of person, I would give up and walk away before I let you put me through a whole lot. So if it was one thing after another with a particular person, I'm walking away. I give up. Like, I can't do this. So I'm not going to have my kids in an environment to where they witness certain things or they see certain things and I'm not comfortable with it. Like, no. So I took a chance. Now that I'm about to be an old lady. See, I ain't crying. I took a chance and said, I'm going to learn how to let someone love me, and I'm going to let them teach me how to love them. Because I've been around so many different men in my lifespan, not just me dating them, but working with them, going to school with them, et cetera, et cetera. I know that men go through things. And I know that some men are just not mentally equipped to take care of another human being. So what I did was I forgave my father. I gotta slow down because I'm trying to. My sermon, y'all make sure y'all watch my sermon live if y'all not in person. But it's gonna be good. June 1st at New Birth Fellowship Church. If you need the address, please don't hesitate to DM me. But you can watch it live too.
Shameless plug.
But what was I saying?
You were saying you were being taught how to love, and you had to forgive your father.
I had to forgive my father for not having the mental capacity to take care of me or not wanting to take care of me or whatever his issue was. It wasn't my fault. You know what I'm saying? So once I let that go, I feel 1,000 pounds lighter because that was a whole nother situation. But I took the courageous change and move to say, yes, I'm about to be somebody's wife. And I just went through all this traumatic experience, but it's only God that has brought me this far to be more gentle, more understanding, and not giving up so easily on things and people. Because, OMG.
Cut-off game is strong.
You see, I moved to Indiana with nobody. Cut-off game is super strong. So, yeah, I'm a little nervous though, but I think I can do it. I have faith in God, that God has faith in me, that I can be somebody's wife and not give up on them because they upsetted me or something like that.
That's a courageous change. For real. And you're going outside. We're talking about, remember you talking about
zone.
Yeah, talking about comfort. You gotta go outside your comfort zone. You want change, you gotta create the change you want. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. And that makes me sad because I want somebody to come save me.
They coming. God working on them. He ain't gonna send you anybody.
Girl, we're not talking about a man.
Who you talking about come save
I don't
you?
care anybody. I just want somebody to just save me.
I'll save you, friend.
Okay. Take me with
I ain't
you.
talking about it, man. But no.
I need somebody to save me from this thing called life, because, honey, I've been getting slapped in the face.
We all been getting slapped.
I know. Well, I'm tired of it.
Slapped up and down.
My cheek is this. You know, the Bible says turn the other cheek, and I done turned the other cheek so many times. Both of my cheeks is raw. You see the redness? I'm just playing. It is red. That's my blush, though. Y'all like my blush? Thank you. But no, like, yeah, courageous change. And so I think this is a good time to talk about maybe what our weekly project is. Oh, okay. Before we talk about this week's weekly project.
Life skill.
Lesson. Oh, yeah, that. What she said.
Life skill lesson.
Last week, we talked about our life skill lesson was reaching out once a day to somebody that was a friend or associate just to check up on them. So I want to know, we got 3 people, one being myself.
So 2 people.
We want to know, did anybody do it, and what was your outcome?
Yeah.
So you said you did. Okay, what was that like for you?
It felt good. I mean,
you got a story tell, so set it up. So you said, hey, I'm gonna text such and such because why? Like set it up. Come on, girl, set it up.
It wasn't like that. It was.
So you just picked somebody random in your phone? You just got somebody random in your phone?
Shut up. No, I was just like, I was like, this person, this person, this person. And just check on them and see how they're doing. I would say 1, because I'm trying to build a closer relationship with them.
Why?
Because why not? Why not have a circle of positive women in your life?
Okay, so then that's why. So because you're trying to establish more positive relationships, and these are women that qualify as positive. Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. Paint the picture, girl. Paint that mural.
Yeah, and it was just a simply hi, how you doing? That's it, and that's all I wanted to know. You okay? You doing all right? All right. Nice talking to you. Have a beautiful and blessed week. Moving right along. I text my mom too. I ain't paid no picture for that because that conversation went on forever. But I checked on her, and then we just got to talking about other things.
Well, that's good.
Hold on. Who you text? Who did you talk to?
Nobody.
What you mean, nobody?
Ooh, honey. Y'all, I done told y'all, Kokobeauty has had a week. You hear me?
So you ain't text nobody.
Oh, Lord.
And I need you. Do not put me in it. I don't
Wait,
care.
I know you don't. That's what I'm saying, so it don't really matter. So, okay, so I did send one message to one individual, and I went unread for like 2 days. No. I messaged this individual on Friday, and I legit just heard from them today.
What's today?
Tuesday. But it's okay though, because it's not the ultimate thing with this is not about them immediately responding, because like I say, everybody is going through some things right now. So it's just the fact of you reaching out to somebody, letting them know that they're being thought of. So I was okay with the outcome. I ain't even gonna stunt. I don't care if I never heard from this individual again. But again, I want that person to know that they were being thought of, that they were on my mind, on my thoughts. Because this individual actually lost their mother about 2 weeks ago. So you know what I'm saying? So it would be selfish of me, and this is supposed to be a selfless challenge. But it'd have been selfish to be, why they ain't respond back? No, it wasn't even about that. It's just letting somebody know, that they were on your thoughts. And so I don't have one. And I can't think of one right in this moment. So do you have a life skill challenge that you think would be good? Oh, I do have one, just that quick, but I'll let you go first.
But I think I said mine earlier, because I had got the sensation over my body to tell whoever it is listening or watching, or if you catch it at a later time, that whatever that change is, you have to do it. You have to put your trust in God and go for it. Like, so if anybody got any challenging situation that they have to change, you have to do the change. God will never leave nor forsake you. So that's my life skill lesson for this week. To step out on faith. Don't be afraid. And whatever that courageous change is, take it.
Make the first step.
Take it. Take it, take it. What's yours?
That's basically what I was gonna say. No, I'm so serious. Like, that's what I'm for real. I'm serious. No, I was just gonna basically say the exact same thing that she was saying. Like, be courageous. Do one thing courageous within the next 7 days.
Something that you've been wanting to do. Somebody been wanting to do something and they've been too scary. Step outside of your comfort zone. It's okay. God is going to put you in a lot of uncomfortable positions, but that is for you to grow and to receive that blessing.
Indeed. So, yeah. Step out on faith. The word has been spoken. The challenge has been challenged. Do you accept? Yes or no? Do you accept?
I appreciate our two dedicated followers, viewers today. Please put your name in the comment section. Please, whoever you are, put your name in the comment section. Our live is about to end. This is our time. But I need to know who you are, because I'm not going to be able to see it. Can you see who's watching?
Mm-mm. I believe it's Daviana.
Okay, that's one. Who's the other person?
Mm-hmm. I'm also wondering, because, we're still new to this whole StreamYard. I wonder if StreamYard is considered a person too. Because if that's the case, then that's 3 people. But I don't know who the other person is.
Okay. Well, whoever is watching now, put your name in the comments section. You know what else I do want to get? It's in my Amazon cart, a little spinny thing. And I think I'm going to put prizes on it.
Spin wheel.
But I think they have one on, like, online too, that people can, you can spin. And it'll spin on the computer.
Okay, y'all. So we have had an amazing time yet again.
Like always.
Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and follow to our YouTube channel, to Spotify, and to our Facebook page. This live, don't forget to share. Also, you can take the link and send it to friends or family or people that you feel like they need this encouragement. Again, this was also inspirational for me. So I'm going to try to come up with a challenge for myself to do within the next 7 days in the next step. But what else? I think that's it, y'all. But y'all have been amazing. Thank you for watching. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. All the support, all the prayers, all the encouraging words.
So what are we doing about next Tuesday?
Oh, yeah. So next Tuesday, we're not for sure if we're going to have a live. Well, I know for a fact we're not going to have a live. We haven't decided yet. Are we going to still run a pre-recorded session, or if we're just going to take a break next week? But throughout the week, we'll definitely keep you all updated on what's going on. We don't want to leave you guys without anything because I know you're gonna miss us so much, and I don't want to do that to you guys because I love you guys so much. So we haven't quite yet figured it out, but it will be something a little new next week. But other than that, that's it for now, y'all.
And please stay tuned. We are working on a series. And this series is important and very near and dear to our men. So we need you guys to stay tuned for that, because that is going to be a dope series.
Indeed.
Oh, I think I just came up with a title.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye, y'all.